I'm a 28-year-old male. My mama died not long after I was born. Dad married Tina when I was 7. She had a daughter, also 7, from a previous relationship named Diana. Diana and I did not get along. Diana was spoiled. It was obvious she resented not being the only child anymore. She took it out on me. She would break my toys, steal my stuff, and lie to get me in trouble. I would complain to Dad and Tina, but they told me to get over it. If I did the same, I would get punished. It only got worse as we got older. I felt abandoned by my dad. I often felt lonely in my house. So I guess you guys can see who the golden child is. At 16, Diana spread a nasty rumor about me in school, and I almost got expelled. Diana got caught lying and got suspended. Of course, Dad and Tina blamed me for this. That was the last straw for me. I rang my cousin Shyla from my mama's side and told her what had happened. She came over to my house angry at Tina and Dad. She gave them a piece of her mind. Dad said she was welcome to have me if it bothered her so much. That was a blow to my heart to hear my dad say that to me. So Shyla and I went to pack my stuff. Diana's room was open and she was sitting on her bed, smirking at me. We got my stuff and we left. I haven't looked back since. Over the years, neither Dad nor even Diana tried to contact me, but I would block all attempts. Now, a week ago, Shyla visited me. She told me that she got a message from my dad for me. I was surprised she even mentioned Dad, since she knew how I felt about him. She told me that Diana was in a fatal accident and didn't make it. She said he wanted to talk to me. Shyla handed me his number and said it's up to me. I did ring him out of curiosity, more than anything. He didn't even recognize my voice, but when I told him it was me, he broke down crying, and most of the time I couldn't understand what he was saying. When he calmed down, he said my sister died, and it's time to come back home and make things right with each other. I asked, "What sister?" "I have no sister." He started crying and saying, "Don't do this. She doesn't deserve this." This enraged me, and I just let out all my anger, hurt, and frustration I had felt towards them, and ended with, "I don't care if she died." My girlfriend, who was beside me, took my phone off me and ended the call for me. Glad she did before I said any more. She told me later that I could have been more understanding. I've had time to think it over and wonder if she's right, and if I am the idiot. Not the idiot. Your father enabled you to be abused in your own home, and then tossed you out when he was called out. Now his golden child is dead, and he's suddenly remembered he is a consolation child. Hard no. You more or less have moved on from your dad's rejection, and you owe him nothing at this point. Could you have been more empathetic? Sure, but he threw away your love and empathy when you were 16. He failed as a father. He doesn't get to waltz back in and pretend nothing happened just because he's feeling sad. It's not even about OP and their non-existent relationship. His dad literally said, "Don't do this to her." It's still about Diana. I'm not saying your funeral shouldn't be, but if there was going to be any type of reconciliation, it needed to be Dad taking accountability for his actions and not because Diana had passed. His dad wants him to show up and play the part of the grieving son and brother. For OP, there's nothing to mourn or grieve, and that's because of the parents' actions. On a side note, you must have a very serious conversation with your girlfriend about how you were treated growing up. It can be hard for people who didn't grow up with crappy parents and families to understand that just because their family was good, it's not the case for you, and there's no hope for reconciliation. I agree, OP. You have a lot of hurt bottled up for over 21 years of putting up with golden child Diana and then being disregarded by your dad and stepmother, only for him to throw you away like nothing. You deserved better, and now he's coming back to you because stepsis died. Please get some therapy and allow your girlfriend to attend if you're comfortable doing so. I, 29 female, have a tween daughter. My ex, aka her father, and I had her at a very young age. We separated 1 year later after we had her and have been co-parenting ever since. My daughter's father is more of a strict parent than me. For example, he doesn't let my daughter wear certain types of clothes, like crop tops, tank tops, bodysuits, etc. He also doesn't want her wearing makeup and yells at her a lot because she wears makeup all the time, including these fake eyelashes. Now, the thing is, I let her use them because she's a good kid. She gets amazing grades, is respectful, and I believe she can express herself in that way. He also has this rule with her where she has to put her phone on D&D by 10 p.m. at night. Why? So she doesn't do anything bad? Which I don't understand how that's going to work, but whatever. My daughter's also been telling me that his new wife, her stepmom, is sometimes rude and strict. Last week, I got a call from my ex and his wife, angry, and telling me that I'm such a careless, bad parent. I asked them to explain, and they said that they found out my daughter has a secret boyfriend she's been hiding, and said that it's my fault since I let her go out wearing all this makeup and inappropriate stuff. Now, remember, this isn't the first time they've blamed me for my daughter's actions and stuff. Now, since this wasn't the first time, and it's honestly really annoying, I tell them that my parenting shouldn't concern them, and probably isn't even the reason she's misbehaving, and that their strictness is why she's hiding stuff from them. They hung up, and from what I've heard from my daughter, they've been talking crap about me and saying I'm an idiot. Also, for the boyfriend thing, I talked with her, and she said that he wasn't even her boyfriend and just a guy friend. But am I an idiot? Call me a dinosaur, but I don't think a tween needs to be wearing false eyelashes or bodysuits. I also think that giving a kid that young unrestricted access to a phone past 10 p.m. is a bad move. She should be asleep by then anyway. So it might be an unpopular opinion, but yes, you are the idiot. They have valid concerns. Fake eyelashes for a child sounds bat crap. You realize they can hurt her natural lashes if she wears them too often because the glue rips at them every time they come off. Face full of makeup? Is she a child or a 32? No tween needs a face full of makeup. She already thinks she needs stuff like that? I mean, come on. Lady, you're obviously trying to be her buddy and not her parent. I agree, saying no to your kid sucks, but it's extremely necessary. It's not too late to change. Grow up and parent. My gosh, do better. Kids these days have two modes, Coco Melon and straight to euphoria. It seems like it would be in your daughter's best interest to work with a mediator to work out best parenting practices so she benefits from consistent parenting in both houses. Everyone's the idiot here because neither of you seems interested in centering your kid's experience and making it peaceful and predictable. I, a female teen, live 1 week with my dad and another with my mom. They divorced 3 years ago, and my mom has been dating John for a year. John and I don't hate each other, but we're not close. We all live in the same town as most of my dad's side of the family. So besides my music lesson, I also hang out a lot with my cousins and didn't spend much time around John. A month ago, John and his daughter, Trisha, tween, moved into my house temporarily because of a fire at theirs. My house has 2 bedrooms, so Trisha has to stay in my room. My bed is a bunk bed because I was getting a sister, but my mom miscarried. Trisha and I hung out only a few times before this, but I can say the same about her and John. I don't hate her, but she turns out to be hard to live with. She has long hair and it's everywhere. She talks in her sleep, and I was woken up 5 or 6 times since her stay. She also sometimes tried to speak to me when I turned off my lamp, a sign that I was going to sleep. I talked to my mom and she said I needed to be nicer to her since she's been through a lot, that my issues were just minor inconveniences, and that Trisha would be back at her own home soon, late next month. I talked to my dad, who said I could move in with him until Trisha leaves. I then packed my bags and told my mom that I'd be staying at my dad's. She blew up at me, saying what a spoiled brat that I am, and that I'm making John and Trisha feel horrible for imposing. I just left. It's been a week now, and my mom never contacted me. She dropped my Christmas presents at my grandma's because my dad and I would celebrate Christmas there. I don't think my mom can get the law involved because I'm a teen, and I just have to tell them the living situation and they should understand. Besides, it's only until I can have my room back again. Still, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. A house fire is pretty traumatic. Your mom's boyfriend and his daughter probably lost everything they had, including sentimental things. Your mother's kind to take in her boyfriend and his daughter, but you're stuck sharing a room with someone you don't know well. I think it's perfectly reasonable to stay with your dad until they move back out. Your mother has no right to criticize you for not wanting to share a room. You're not wrong to spend some extra time with your dad. Just be aware that your mom and her boyfriend might decide to make this permanent, so ensure you have everything you care about out of your room. Make another trip if you need to. Jesus, what a leap. A month and a half of a temporary living situation that was not precedented or planned whatsoever. This is where parents teach their kids empathy and caring for others in bad situations. OP's lucky enough to have another option, and I'm genuinely glad it worked out that way for them, because their mom isn't putting them through something terrible or unreasonable. I wouldn't be on OP's side on this. OP, you are the idiot. Your mom is right that the mature, kind thing would be to just deal with it for a few weeks to help a kid who just dealt with such a horrible and terrifying experience. You're a teen, and you're allowed to be less than perfectly mature. Mature thing is just to suck it up? What the heck? I disagree with this point. Nothing's immature about not wanting to share a room when she has another readily available option. It's not like she told her mom to kick them out. She just left the situation. I wonder if mom intends to make this bedroom situation permanent and is fuming that her daughter hasn't gone with the plan. I just landed at home from taking my family on vacation in Mexico. My daughter was watching the Troll movie on the plane and minding her own business. The woman in front of her decided to put her hair over the back seat. This obscured the screen for my kid. My daughter asked her to move her hair, but she wouldn't. We pushed the button for the flight attendant, and she got the woman to move her hair for about 15 minutes. Then she did it again. I decided to do something. When my daughter went to the bathroom, I took her seat. When she came back, I let her have my seat. She asked why I moved, and I said that I liked the woman's hair and wanted a better look at it. The woman heard me, and she immediately pulled her hair back, tucked it in, and pulled her hoodie up. My daughter didn't notice. She was happy with her movie, and I was glad to have a nap. My wife says I should have just switched seats and not said anything to make that woman uncomfortable. I think she needed to know that she was being rude. Not the idiot. This was a genius solution that deserves no shame or correction. Tell your wife to try to respect how quickly and smoothly you resolve the issue rather than try to critique it. Shaking my head. Some people can't be made happy. Also, screw that lady. It's absolutely trash behavior. How the tables turned. You should have fake sniffed her hair too. Someone did this with my nephew a couple of months ago. He's not a good flyer, slightly autistic, and he's 6'2". He apparently stood up, gathered the hair, and put it around the seat across her face. She spluttered and carried on. He loomed over the seat and just said, "I paid for a hairless seat with a video screen. Keep it away." Luckily, my sister-in-law was able to keep the peace, and a flight attendant warned the hairy one. To be honest, I salute you. You, sir, have handled this situation well, and the best thing is, this will hopefully last. She'll be wary of creepy men and not put her hair over the seat in the future. I wonder why your wife thinks you have to take care of not making that woman uncomfortable after that woman deliberately and repeatedly has made your daughter uncomfortable. My sister has 2 now adult kids. Her son is 21, her daughter's 18, and both of them told her in the last month or so that they plan to change their names legally. My nephew is George and my niece is Catherine. The kids always had nicknames as kids and asked people not to use their whole names, but it was my niece who was the most vocal about the hatred she had for her name. She said Catherine made her think of an old lady who lived down the street from her, and she felt like it was a really old lady's name, or a name someone who wanted to appear so mature would have. She wanted a name that sounded younger, and in middle school, she started going by the name Ember, after a character she adored in a book. Ember is stuck, and she plans to make that her legal name. George was never as outspoken, but in the last few years, mostly since he moved out of his parents' house, he's been Ryder to his friends. Now he's decided that he wants to make Ryder his legal name. My sister was upset with one wanting to change, but with both, she's got a mix of sadness and anger about it. She and my niece have argued a lot. My sister told her wanting to sound young is a dumb reason to change your name. She told her that the name Catherine has a lot of history surrounding it and sounds far more adult than she is now. She told her she just wanted a trendy modern name and couldn't see the benefit of having a real name. She hasn't been as harsh with my nephew, but she goes more for the guilt trips with him. She has tried that with my niece too, just more with my nephew. It got to the point that I heard from both my niece and nephew that their mom is driving them crazy, and my nephew's considering changing his middle name like his sister plans to change hers, since their mom is being so extreme about this. My niece said she doesn't want either name her mom gave her and would rather just have a first name than carry around names she doesn't like. So I decided to talk to my sister, and she told me she didn't want to hear what I had to say. She told me they are her kids, and she has every right to try to convince them to do the right thing. I told her she should still lay off the guilt trips, or she might find she hears way less from her kids than she does now. And they might be less inclined to tell her stuff in the future, which she also wouldn't like. She told me to leave after telling me that I had crossed the line. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot for not telling your niece and nephew that the names they chose are dumb. Your sister's right that changing your name to sound younger is dumb. I changed my name to something cool when I was 20. I got my bachelor's and master's in that name, but I realized it was stupid, trendy, and self-indulgent as I aged. When I got married, I used it as a chance to restore my birth name. I feel like an idiot for what I did, and I'm so embarrassed when I have to explain that decade of my life where I had a different name. Not the idiot. Names are personal, and it matters more that your nibblings are happy and validated than your sister's ego and preferences. She can change her name to Catherine George if she loves them so much. I say this as someone who cannot get some people to stop using my legal name for the life of me. I hate it so much. It's like nails on a chalkboard, being referred to that way. But, repeat after me, mind your own business. This is literally not your business. Her relationship with her kids is hers to manage, not yours. The more you interfere, the more likely you'll be asked to take sides. You've done enough. They are all adults, and they need to sort this out themselves. Just be the supportive aunt and don't preach at sister.